What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you all for your likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. I appreciate each and every one of you, whatever way you support me in. It is greatly appreciated, y'all. So I want to cover this story about the Houston therapist who was manipulating their patient. It is the therapist goes by Thaddeus, and the young lady goes by Jaya. I think her last name was Scales, Jaya. Correct me in the comments if I didn't get that correct. So basically, from my knowledge, she and her son had visited him for services back in October 2023, and as time went on, the two ended up being in a relationship, which is goes beyond moral conduct. It is frowned upon. You overstep boundaries, so that's a huge no-no. Also, it looks like by March, April, that's when the young lady found out that he was already married and wanted to end the relationship, and he was not in favor of that. So the young lady ended up being abused. First of all, in my opinion, she was already abused because he knew what she was going through and he banked on that. She was already in a hurt place, and so he manipulated her. All right. I'm gonna share more details about the incident before I go all into it with my opinion. But so by March, April, that's when she wanted to end it because she found out that he was married. He basically was not in favor of that, and held a gun to the young lady's head, threatened her, actually threatened to take both of them out. There was even a moment where she went home and he was there. He blocked her in. She went through the back, he went through the front. It got extremely out of hand. Her life was threatened, and he peered over her, put the gun to her head and everything. So let's just stop here, and we're gonna talk about what I feel about the situation. So first of all, you out of line because you are quote unquote a therapist. This person is your client. They're coming to you for help. The son was coming to them, for help. He saw that, there was an issue, past trauma, and he banked on that. And see, that's why you got to be careful with individuals, because they know that you are already going through something, and they will use that against you, because they feel like you're weak. They see that you're vulnerable. They see that you're in a bad place, and you got to be careful when you talk to therapists, because they will manipulate your mind. They can manipulate your mind. Some of them you have to be careful. That's what I learned in Houston. Houston got a lot of fake therapists. Houston got a lot of counselors who feel like, and it's not even just therapists. I just noticed, Texas, period, they got a lot of people who claim to be something that they're actually not, and they use their titles for leverage. For instance, even beyond just mental health counselors, you have politicians who say that they are not for prostitution and they're banning all of this, yet they the main ones that are having these sex trafficking. They're having prostitution rings. They're paying these people who who are utilizing this as their work. Let me just keep it clean. You also have people out here who are police officers, and they say that they are wanting to keep the streets clean. They want to make sure that they have gun violence under control. They want to make sure that people are safe, but in actuality they're the ones that are setting people up to be in jail. Same thing with these other politicians. Okay, these people use what they know and will use it against you, set you up, put you in a vulnerable position that you cannot easily get out of, cannot easily, you know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing. You got to be careful with that. So going back to this individual here, he and let me just say this, some of these therapists, they claim to be, you know, educated, this, that, and the third. They claim to have it all together, be so educated, but in actuality, they be needing more help than us. I'ma just keep it real. Some of these people be so mentally deranged. You got psychotherapists out here that's claiming that they trying to help people, but they are the psychopaths. Okay? Let's just keep it all the way a buck. Like, there's so much fraudulent activity down there in Houston and around the world, period. But Houston, for sure, I can say that because I have lived there. I have seen what has gone on. And, like, it's just a lot of people don't want you to speak about it. A lot of people don't want you to talk about it. But it just is what it is. This man manipulated her and her son. He saw what she was going through. She had just, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you in therapy, excuse me, if you're in therapy, and let me just say congratulations to her and her son, because that's a huge step. You're already admitting, okay, hey, there's an issue here. I want to rectify it. I want to become a better version of myself. I want to live a better life. You know what I'm saying? So she took it upon herself to go to therapy, and he saw that. And it ain't even no telling how many other patients he's done that way. This is just the first one to come out. There's so many people who ain't even talking about what it is that they're going through. And lo and behold, that's why I keep on telling y'all, speak up and speak out. Because the moment that you do, I swear you will find out it is not just you. I guarantee you, any kind of money, with her telling her story, it's going to be a whole bunch of other people that can readily say, yes, I went through this too. He knew what she was going through. He knew that he could manipulate her. He knew she was hurt. He knew she was going through something. Her son was going through something. They both were there. You know what I'm saying? And so he utilized that, manipulated her mind, manipulated this young lady, got into a relationship with her knowing that he was married. And then when she found out that he was married, which a lot of men won't tell you, a lot of men want, one thing about it, a lot of men will not even tell you, oh, she doesn't want to deal with me. He or she, whatever, you know, you deal with, whatever it is that you dating. They're not going to say, oh, he or she stopped dealing with me because they found out that I was in a relationship and did not tell her. All they're going to do is say, oh, I want to take you out of here. You ain't going nowhere. Try to put you into a polyamorous relationship. Okay, or even lie on you, say, oh, you this, that, and the third, but in actuality, you just don't want to deal with that. You have respect for yourself. You actually do have morals. You're not willing to be number two. Like, I don't know the full facts. I'm just stating what I read with the article and saw on the video. She found out that he was married, and she said, I don't want to do this no more. That should have been the end of the discussion. But because he felt like, you know, oh, I'm entitled, he don't know how to let go, he wanted to end her life. So you have, you know, you charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Should be breaking and entering, because how you get into her house? You see what I'm saying? Why you even still at her house and you married? Why would you start the relationship and you knew you were married? And ain't no telling what his wife going through, because she got to deal with his abuse each and every day. Narcissists. Controlling narcissists. This is what I'm talking about. These people, like, I'm telling y'all got to open up y'all eyes. Just because these people talking about they got these titles, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean a thing. I've seen doctors say, oh, you know, I'm a doctor and I would never do this. I care about my practice. I care about my patients, but doing the unthinkable. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. And then when you go and look at the website talking about CR team, it ain't even nobody there. The website says, oh, they're going under training and this, that, and third. You need to go under training. What? Because you know what I'm saying? You need to be evaluated. There's no reason that this young lady or anyone should have had to experience that. And I can say that for myself. I've personally dealt with situations like this where a person does not want to let it go, does not want to let you go, move from states to states, cities to cities, homes to homes, and you still got a person sitting there watching you and stalking you, crazy enough to be your next door neighbor, crazy enough to move next door to you, crazy enough to still spin a block, ride around your home, this, that, and in the third, showing up at your doorstep, and you have told this person repeatedly, I don't want you, and they cannot take no for an answer. I watched a young lady do a video where she said she will never not give a man her number anymore. I've seen a lot of females who say this, that they will just give them their number just because men cannot take rejection. And nobody should ever have to feel like that. She said she was a bartender and the guy kept on asking her for her phone number and she didn't want to give it to him. And she said, and he was like, I'm not leaving here until I get your number or something. Even like the other employee supervisor had to tell him to leave. He didn't want to leave. Like, it was a whole big ordeal. Nobody owes you anything. You cannot make anybody be with you, deal with you, or none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, people, like these men out here cannot take a rejection. And I remember even when I was a young girl, the first time I ever heard about this situation was there was a park down the street from my home, and this girl, I think she went to like Ramsey, and she rejected a guy and he shot her. He took her out of here, and the girl just didn't want to do. Like, people, these men out here are so fragile. So people say that, you know, and women, yeah, we are fragile, but some of these men are even more fragile. They feel so entitled. They feel like, people, you're going to be with me, I'm going to make you be with me, this, that, and the third. Nobody has to be with you. We have a choice. You can't make someone be in a relationship with you. There's even some women that are like that too, that are so possessive and obsessed that they are unwilling to let go. They will run anybody off. Like, if some people will be so insecure that they feel like if somebody else is competition, or if their partner is interested in someone else, or if their partner, somebody, like, whatever the case may be, take it how it resonates, these people will do everything that they can to harm them, to run them away, to make them disinterested. It's just too much. So even if this person did decide to stay with you, they don't really want to be there, and you gotta know it. So now you over here mad because now you're not getting the attention and the affection that you want. If you are getting attention and affection, it's not genuine, because they don't want to be there. They don't want to be there. And I bet that is something that this person's wife, his wife, is dealing with. Wife or husband, whatever he deal with. You can even look on his website and see the way he's sitting down in the chair. Oh, baby, he's sitting down like he think he got it all together, like he controlling it. I look at body language. I look at all that type of stuff. I listen to how a person speaks, how they talk. You know what I'm saying? Some of these men feel so entitled, and it's so disgusting. I mean, like, beyond disgusting. My heart, like, truly goes out to this female, because I can relate. I truly can relate. And then you got to think about it. Even if she decides to go to another counselor, there's more trauma on top of what she was already dealing with. Now there's going to be an issue with whether or not she can trust the next counselor, even if it is a female. And some people are so low down and so dirty, they like to try to act like they don't even know people. They don't even know each other, and will set you up. You know what I'm saying? So now there's distrust. You don't even know if you can go to another counselor, if you're gonna go through the same thing, or if that person has connections with that person who wants to try to manipulate that person, manipulate her into seeing him again, or manipulate her into feeling that she's wrong, or manipulate her in any way, shape, form, or fashion. There's people out here, therapists, that want to convince you that you are the issue, that you are not mentally sane, and it's all a projection, you know, based off what they're dealing with. They want you to be crazy. They want you to be crazy too. They want you to feel the same way that they feel. You got to be careful. I'm telling y'all, you got to be careful. You can't, just because they are a health profession, just because they are of any type of profession, have the degree, have the certificates, have the doctorate, baby, that don't mean a thing. That don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. I'm telling y'all, this is prime example. Prime example that you can't trust everybody. And it's horrible, the world that, you know, that we're living in, that, you know, you can't even trust your medical professionals. You can't trust, you know, the police officers. You can't trust anybody. You signed an oath. You know what I'm saying? You took the courses, you took the classes, the training, you went through the proper, you know what I'm saying, just to do something like this. And I promise you, I really hope that more people start coming out and speaking up and speaking out about this type of situation, because it happens every day. It's sad, but it does happen every day. A lot of people are just afraid to talk about it. Some people send threats. I be receiving threats all the time. Y'all see how these people have set me up and put me and had me into car accidents, and had all their friends, flying monkeys, trying to hit me and run me off the road. And you know, luckily I caught it on tape and took pictures and stuff like that, because if I was to tell y'all this, you'll say, no, I don't believe that. And when I tell the police officers this, that, and third, they want to say I'm crazy. No, these people are just controlling as all get out and can't take rejection. This is the type of stuff that we are dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. So I'm going to leave this episode right here. I do want to hear your thoughts and your opinions, so chime in below. I am MsJaye, y'all. Have an amazing day.